Hey guys, it's Karina, also known as Otameina, and today I will be talking to you guys about my past weekend. This past weekend, it wasn't like as big as the weekend 2 weeks ago. My mom and I this time went to New York again because there was a baby shower of my mom's childhood friend, and we went to go and visit her. And it was great. It was really nice. They rented out the back of this pub or something, and it was really nice. It was cool, but I didn't stay there long enough until the end. Like, I stayed there for about a good hour because I had plans with my friends again for us to hang out. So luckily it was like right after they were serving the food and was like, hey, let's go eat. So like after we finished eating, I went and met up with my friends. So we met at Grand Central Station, and I've actually never been there, which was really neat. Like, it was a lot bigger than I actually expected it to be, and it was really cool because the ceiling had like the constellations, and it was really pretty. Like, it was sky blue, and it had like the little stars and like the zodiac signs and stuff. And I think there was like an Apple store in there, and it was it was interesting. Like, I never thought that it was gonna like look really nice. I thought it was gonna be like kind of run down or something, but it was really pretty, and I liked it because it was kind of just like a historical antique sort of place. And we had met there because we were thinking about going to this thing that was, I think it was just called Japan Week or something. And they were just gonna have like advertisements of like Japanese companies, and they had like a conveyor sushi thing there. And they also had like, it wasn't very many events, it was like maybe 3 of them. But some of them had already finished by the time we got there, and another one that seemed really interesting was like a kimono trying out, or like trying on kimonos and taking pictures in them. And that was only gonna last for about an hour, and by the time we were gonna probably get in from the long line that was there, it was probably gonna be about the time it finished, or it was gonna finish. So we scrapped that idea, and we just decided to go to this place called Pokeworks. And I don't know if any of you guys are aware of what it is, but it's been kind of popping up on the internet a couple of times. I actually like saw it about a week or 2 ago on Facebook. I think it was like under BuzzFeed or something. And it was really cool because this place was basically like Chipotle but with sushi. And you get to choose whether you want a burrito or a bowl. And it was really cool because I love sushi. Sushi is like one of my favorite things. I love seafood. And the sushi was just, it was really good. And I ended up getting a burrito, and I think it was like tuna and salmon, and like you get to put like whatever you want in there that they're offering like in there, just like Chipotle. And some of my friends got a bowl too, so we went and waited there for about almost 2 hours. And we were all talking about how every time we went, we would always have to wait in a line for something. But I mean, I thought it was fine because we want to go to like these cool places, and why not a better time is like whenever I'm there, because I know since my friends live there, they probably are just like we can go whenever we want, but since I'm there, it gives them a reason to go. So we ended up doing that, and then we went to Bryant Park and we just ate there and just chilled, and it was really cool because it was really, really nice outside. So like, it wasn't like too hot or too cold, or it wasn't even all that windy. Like, the weather was beautiful. So like, we just chilled outside and ate and you know, just chatted and talked and stuff. And it was really cool because as it got to nighttime, like the lights started to, you know, show up and be on. And we were like a couple of blocks away from the Empire State Building, and it looked really pretty that night. And the lights this time was red, white, and blue. And I think usually when it's red, white, and blue, it's like something's going on with the country, I think. So yeah, because like recently I've been seeing like flags kind of like halfway on the flagpole these days. So I'm assuming that it had something to do with whatever is going on. And I don't really know what's going on. So, I mean, if you guys know, let me know in the comments, because I'm kind of just like confused as to what's going on, kind of. I'm not like really in with the news these days, just because I don't like to be corrupted with like information or anything. I like to do my own research. But yeah, it was really nice. It was really pretty because like the lights were like really bright, and it was just nice because you know, people talk about how like they like seeing the stars at night and stuff, and to me, I love the stars. I love seeing like outer space and all that good stuff. But what I love about the city is that it's like the stars are there right next to you because the lights are so bright, and to me it's just as beautiful as outer space. And I always liked that type of stuff, but I guess it's just because it's the city girl in me. I don't know. So yeah, we ended up eating and we finished our food, and of course, clumsy me, somehow the box that was holding on to my sushi, because like I put the soy sauce, like I put like a little container of soy sauce for me to put it in my sushi and stuff. I put it in the box that it was in so that I can throw it all out, and somehow the box opened and I hit the box and the soy sauce spilled all over my pants. And for the rest of the night I was reeking of soy sauce, and it was horrible because as soon as I got back to the hotel, or not even, it was like whenever I was on my way back to meet up with my mom in the train, I smelled myself and it was bad. And when I was in the cab with her on our way back to our hotel, it was smelling horrible. I mean, soy sauce isn't like, it's not a bad smell, it's just salty, but it was just so strong because I spilt so much on me and I tried to clean myself up. But I mean, luckily I had dark pants so you couldn't see it, but it was so strong. It was like really pungent. So I smelled like soy sauce for the rest of the night. And so yeah, so clumsy me had to go on and smell like soy sauce for the rest of the day. And that was just ugh. So yeah, after that we kind of just like walked around. I think one of my friends was like, I kind of want some hot chocolate. So we went and like roamed around because we didn't know like where the hot chocolate place was, because like they had a booth in the park and they were like, no, I think they said they ran out. So they were like, you can go to the store, which is right around here, so that you can have some. And so like we kind of wandered around the park and was like, which direction is it at, because we don't know where it is. So it took us like a good 5 to 10 minutes trying to like figure out where we were going. So when we finally found out where it was, we went inside and it was really nice. Like, I don't remember what the place was called. Again, like I'm really bad with this like whole memory and names, but I think the name was like French or something. But the place was a lot like Panera, if you guys are aware of what that is. And for those who don't know what Panera is, it's just like, I don't want to say it's like a bakery, but that's like the closest thing that I can actually explain it as. Like, they make fresh bread every day, and they do like salads and stuff like that too, but there's always some sort of bread within each meal because that's like their thing. It's like a cafe, but it's like a cafe bakery type of thing. So we went in there. My friends got like something to either drink or to snack on. I didn't get anything because I was kind of full from the sushi, and we were supposed to go get some dessert afterwards. So I was like, I'm not gonna spend money on dessert or something like dessert if we're gonna go and get dessert afterwards. So yeah, I didn't get anything, but the place was really nice. It seemed more like a restaurant compared to how Panera's usually set up, because Panera's more like casual, kind of like how Starbucks is set up. So yeah, the place was like more of like a restaurant setting, and it was really fancy and nice. But after that, we went down. It was on like the same block. We went down like a couple of steps, and this place was called Lady M, and they had like these really fancy cakes in there, and per cake, like whole cake, is $80. Like, not even kidding you. I think it's because, I want to say it's because of how they make it, because they're so delicate, because some of them are crepe cakes, like crepe layered cakes with like, I guess, whipped cream or something. But the cakes were really pretty and like fancy looking, and they were really good. Like, I got the original, I don't remember what it was called. It was like special something. I don't know. It was like special cake that they usually have. I guess it's like, you know, what their specialty is. And they had something similar to it, or it's not similar to it. It's the same thing, but it was like a green tea version. And that was really good too. It was a little bit more earthy. It wasn't as sweet as the cake that I got, because the cake that I got was like kind of like creme brulee kind of. So it was like caramelized, and it was sweet, and the green tea one was just, it wasn't as sweet. So I didn't prefer it as much, but it was still good. And we had went back to the park to go on and eat our desserts and stuff, and we just was planning on what to do next, and we just was just like, you know what, Times Square is right here, let's go. So we went to Times Square, and it was cool walking down there. Like, I've been there so many times in the past, like from me just living there as a kid, and going there from time to time. Just like, I went there as in a field trip or something back in school, in high school. And I mean, to me, it looks the same. I mean, it's nothing special to me because I'm used to it. But I always just like, I was always mesmerized by like the bright lights, because it's so bright that it doesn't even look like it's nighttime, and it's really neat, like, to just kind of have like that distortion. I don't know, that's neat. But it was cool because, like, you know, I was walking around, and every time I always walk around in New York, not even just like in downtown or anything, just in general, like, it just felt like I never left. And it always gives me like this sense of deja vu, because it's like, you know, all of this, like, it's changed, but at the same time, like, everything is still the same. And even though, like, I live in a suburban area now, like, going back there, like, I'm not saying that I'm not used to it, like, I still am, but I don't know, it's just like this weird feeling of just like nostalgia mixed with deja vu, and mixed with, you know, like the fact that you never left or something. I don't know what that type of feeling is really called, but if anybody knows a word for it, let me know. That'd be great. So So I just walked around, and the busy feeling just like, it felt so good to actually feel some sort of life at night, because where I live, it's like civilization, like everybody stays home by like 6 o'clock and everything closes really early. So like, for example, the malls here kind of sometimes, I think on like Sundays, they close at like 6 o'clock, and all the restaurants tend to close at 10, but sometimes you want to eat at 10, so like you can't go anywhere. So being in New York, just like, it always feels good to just be able to see some sort of life sort of late at night, even though it wasn't all that late, but you know, around nighttime. And it's such a great feeling just to like feel that again. But yeah, like while we were just going around Times Square, we were just looking at the signs, talking about how it was so bright, and it was so lively and stuff like that. And we went inside some stores. We went into the Disney store. We went into Sanrio, which is like the company that does Hello Kitty and all that stuff. We went to the Hershey store and the M&M store. And I've been to the M&M store before, but the other stores, like, I never really paid mind to going into them, because every time I would go into Times Square, it would be just to, you know, walk around, chill. And as a kid, I've been to the Toys R Us that was there, but it's closed down now, so I couldn't go in there just to be like, the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel! So many memories! And I couldn't do that because it closed, I think, in January. So I was kind of depressed to see it just like dead in there. Like, there were some stores that I used to pass by as a kid that aren't there anymore. I remember there was this restaurant there called, I think it was like Mars 20, I don't know what it was. It was like Mars, and then it had like a year of the future, and I don't know what that future that year was, but that place was really cool because it was supposed to be based on the future, and it was supposed to be based on like civilization on Mars. So like you would go through like this I don't want to say like it was a 4D sort of deal, because like you weren't wearing 3D glasses, but you would go into this thing where like you're in this spacecraft and it would like move around, and you'll be acting like you're going from Earth to Mars or something like that. And then after that whole trip finished, you would go out on the other side, and then you enter in Mars, and you would eat there and like have these futuristic foods. And it was really cool because it was like space! Oh my god! Space! And it was Mars, and the lighting was like super cool, super futuristic, and it was like my favorite place to go as a kid, because it was like, I was always into space, and I was always into like going somewhere where like they make you feel like you're not at home sort of deal. Like they just keep you like immersed. And I know like eating in the restaurant there, like they would have people dressed up as these characters, and like there some of these people would be like an alien. Like I think all of them were aliens though, but it was really cool because they would pass by around you and they would like give you high fives and like comment on like whatever you're talking about or whatever you're wearing. They're like, oh, that futuristic type of clothing, that's so rad. Not saying that was like exactly what they said, but they would say something obscure and it was fun. But I remember going back the last time or something in Times Square, like actually like walking around and being really sad seeing that the place was closed, because that was my favorite place. But yeah, there were some billboards there that like completely changed as a kid. I remember when I was little, there was this one billboard, it was my favorite one, that they would have like the cup noodle sign. Like it was actually like cup noodle, and like they would have steam coming out of it, and that was like so neat. Like I don't know what it was about it, but I like as a kid I loved cup ramen, so I was like, oh, that's so cool. But like seeing the steam come out of it just like freaked me out. I was like, that's so neat. But that's not there anymore, unfortunately, which that was like the coolest freaking billboard I think that was like ever put in Times Square. But everything's changing, so New York's not the same as it used to be, but it still has a special place in my heart, of course, because I'm from there. But you know, sometimes when people see things change, they're just like, I don't want to be back there. But it's always gonna be a pretty cool place to be for me. So yeah, we did all of those little things. We walked around, and after that we parted ways at the subway, and I went home, and that was about it. And the day after that I met up with one of my closest friends, my best friend since I was 5 years old. We've known each other since preschool, and I got to finally see her because the last time I went she was so busy that I couldn't get to see her. So it was really nice to spend that much time. Like it was like a good maybe hour with her, and it's always such a good time to talk with her because we always talk about like real world stuff, and we talk about like our plans for the future, what our goals are. We talked about politics for a good while, and it's always a good time to go on and talk to her because I always feel grounded when I talk to her. It's always like, I don't want to say a reality check, but it's always like refreshing to talk to her because one, I don't really talk to many people these days because I'm so focused in school, but it's nice to talk to somebody that like gets you. And since we've known each other for such a long time, like we know almost everything about each other. We know what we like, we know what we dislike, and we know what to talk about. And I mean, it's always just good to go back to your roots and just, you know, connect with your past and stuff sometimes. So yeah, after that we went back to her house and we talked to her mom for a little bit, and my mom and I just went back home. And the ride back was actually like really hectic because it was raining. So we got back in like, I don't want to say 8 hours. We got back home at like 8 o'clock at night, and we left around like 1. So it was kind of a long trip because of the fact that it was raining, and we passed by like 2 accidents. But I tried to sleep the entire time because I was having such an issue with my computers because I just got a new laptop. Because my old one is kind of, you know, being kind of slow and, you know, doing things that typical old computers start doing, like just being really slow. And for some weird reason, it likes to disconnect from the internet a lot. So it was doing that, and I've had it for like 4 to 5 years, so it was about time for me to change it. So I was trying to do like a system transfer, and that took forever. Like it was the worst. Like I was trying to do these things, like trying to wirelessly connect it to each other, like my new computer to the old one, so that the old files in my computer could transfer to the new one. And for some weird reason, it would always stop whenever it tried to transfer my music. I mean, I guess since I have a lot of music, like, it makes sense, but it was just really annoying because it kept stopping, and I always had to sit in front of it for it to work. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit in front of my computers for 13 hours just for this to work. Like, that's not gonna happen. So I kept calling support for the software that I downloaded because it was for free, and for some weird reason Windows decided not to have like a Windows transfer system. like how it did in Windows 7 because I got a Windows 10 computer. So I tried using the system that Windows was referring to so that you can transfer the files, and it wasn't working. So I just kind of like scrapped that idea and just was like, you know what, I'll just do this when I get home and just do my homework on my new computer, because I transferred some files from my flash drive like for school into my new one so that I can like work on it, since it's faster and you know it's new. I want to use it, I want to play around with it. So while I was like playing around with it with my new laptop, I somehow found out that like OneDrive was able to transfer my music to my new computer. And I don't exactly know how, because my old computer, it didn't say it was in there. Like, it says nothing was in there, like in the OneDrive thing. When I put the old music files in there, I somehow had some music that I still had, or not that I still had, but I had already deleted. So it was like outdated, so I deleted all those music files. And it was such a freaking long process just to try to figure out what I was doing. But then I ended up finding out about the home sharing on iTunes. And I tried doing that the last time, like when I had gotten my old laptop. We had like a desktop, and I tried like playing around with that, but it didn't have the import setting at the time, I think. So I was just like, okay, well, I can work this out, whatever. And it did kind of work, but the internet for the Wi-Fi in my hotel was like, I don't want to say it was slow, but it was kind of weird because it kept stopping and was saying that like the connection kept timing out or something. But the good thing was that I got like more than half of my music into my new laptop, and then when I got home, like, it did it really fast. So I was like, okay, I have no issue with that. I got all my files in there. So then I had to transfer everything physically, and it was just such a long and tiring process. It was really annoying because it was like stressing me out while I was in the hotel, and I was trying to relax, and that was like the big setback from my whole like weekend. But everything worked out okay in the end, like as soon as I got home, because I was like, you know what, flash drive, old computer, take that out, put it into the new one, the end. So now I know not to try to wirelessly connect my laptops in the future. I think I'm gonna recommend this to all of you guys. Don't wirelessly do anything, because that's gonna be a long process. Some files could possibly be corrupted. None of my files got corrupted, thankfully, but that could be an issue. And you don't want to go through a long process like I did. So yeah, just transfer through USB port if you can. But I learned my lesson, and I know not to do anything like that ever again. But at least, you know, I played around with it and I learned, so I have no issue with that. So that was my weekend. Aside from the whole laptop thing and all that stressful crap that happened, I had a good weekend. I had a good time. Blew off some steam to be like with friends, and walked, and you know, going back to my roots again, and it felt great. So yeah, so today's Monday that I'm recording this, and I feel a little bit better after that whole stressful situation with the computer and whatnot. But today's Monday. I feel refreshed. I had a test today, and I didn't even study for it. Like, nothing registered for me in class. I had no idea what was going on in the test, and I got a 95, so boom, good day today. And that was all I had for today's class, and now I'm just home and, you know, doing this, catching up with you guys. And tomorrow, my best friend in Florida is coming here to visit, and she's coming with her boyfriend, and I'm so excited because it's like, you know, right before spring break, so it's like the vacation before the vacation. So, you know, I get to have a good time with her and spend time with her and her boyfriend and, you know, catch up and have fun and show her boyfriend around because he's not from here. He's never been around here. So we're gonna do a whole bunch of things this week, and I'm so excited. And we might actually do some sort of video podcast because her and I like to talk about like cool stuff too. So we might do that, and I might post that up next week. But during my vacation next week, I'm gonna be in Las Vegas for the first time. Like, I'm gonna do that, probably go to the Grand Canyon and go to California. And I'm really excited because I've never been to the West Coast before. So, I'm just like ecstatic to go to a place that I've never been to. And I'm just looking forward to this trip because my mom's birthday is usually like around spring break time. Her birthday, I believe, is the week after next. So we're going for her birthday because she's turning 40. So we're gonna do that and stay with an aunt of mine that lives over there, and I'm gonna make sure I get so much footage so that you guys can see my experience, and I'm super excited about it. And let me know what you guys are gonna do for this spring break. If you guys are in spring break anyways, either let me know. What are your plans? What are you guys doing? You know, I would love to see what you guys are up to. You know, I want to connect with you guys, you know. So look out for that in 2 weeks, and maybe look out for an upcoming video with my best friend next week. And thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video is kind of long again because I think I've been recording for about 30 minutes now. So I'm gonna end it here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and you like the content that I'm putting up, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Comment down below about what you want to probably talk about in some upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!